caps and gowns in the hotel lobby last night at his graduation season, and these two hungry up-and-comers, both undefeated, graduating to the biggest stage and the brightest lights in boxing. Luis Núñez versus Jonathan Fierro, scheduled for 10 rounds at 126 pounds. Fierro, he turns 19 next month. He is indeed a prospect on a 5-fight KO streak. Longest KO string to date was 7 to start his career. And here's a guy who is someone who loves to bring the action, and only one of his past 10 fights has gone past 2 rounds. And he is born and raised in Guadalajara, Mexico. And for Luis the Twist Núñez, hey, you hear it in the background, he loves to do the twist. And believe it or not, the man who made the twist famous, Chubby Checker, still alive at 80. It was #1 at 60. Played it a lot as a mobile wedding DJ, but tonight it's about Luis Núñez at 22. He wants to, well, twist the fortunes of Jonathan Fierro. So this one promises to be a barn burner from the jump.
Let's take a look at the numbers for these two fighters. Now, in his last 5 fights, Núñez has steadily gone up in weight from 118 to 122 to 123 to 125.5 and finally 128.25. But tonight, he has settled at the featherweight weight limit of 126. Now, that's the weight Fierro has been fighting at for his career.
The rules for tonight's fights: no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell. In any round, the fight is official after round 4. With the official introductions, here's Hall of Fame ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the Gila River Arena here in Glendale, Arizona. Premier Boxing Champions presents a big night of action coming your way, and it's all brought to you by Samson Boxing, TGB Promotions, and Showtime. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring our opening attraction from ringside. We have Chris Flores, Dennis O'Connell, and Gonzalo Valenzuela, all from the state of Arizona. And introducing our 3rd man to the ring, our referee in charge, we have Tony Zano. All right, fans, here we go. Undefeated featherweights featured in a special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing white trunks with red and green trim, he's a southpaw battler from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. He weighed in at 125.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a hard-hitting record of 13 wins, no losses, 12 wins. Coming by way of knockout, please welcome the undefeated young contender known as Diamante Zurdo, Jonathan Fierro. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gray trunks with black and white trim. He is fighting out of Reading, Pennsylvania by way of Nahua in the Dominican Republic. He weighed into the featherweight limit of 126 pounds. He also is undefeated with a record of 16 wins, no losses, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated world-ranked contender known as The Twist, introducing Luis Núñez. Once again, a referee in charge, Tony Zano, now to give instructions.
Chief second. Where's the second? I need a chief second. Right here. Coach. All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. No golpes aquí. Golpes aquí está bien. Protégese todo el tiempo. Obedézcame todo el tiempo. Toca los guantes. Give him hell at the bell. Let's go.
Referee Tony Zano, 16 years of pro experience, working his 199th professional fight as we begin our pugilistic proceedings here at Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona.
Box.
The bell and round one. Jonathan Fierro's manager, Ray Fry, told us, I don't know what kind of boxing IQ he has, but he's not a thinker. He's a doer. And he loves to do damage. And he's already on his way.
He likes to come out, he's like shot out of a cannon. But, you know, Andre Rozier, who is in his first fight training Núñez, he thinks that there might be a quick finish in this fight because a mistake might be made by Fierro early in this match, and he thinks Núñez will take advantage. We'll see.
The 22-year-old Núñez, promoted by Samson Lukowicz, was a well-deserved and well-earned reputation for discovering such young talent, and Núñez is the favorite coming into the fight tonight, Raul.
Yeah, well, we had Núñez twice on Showbox, and he's a long-rangey fighter. He likes to attack at times, and I think it's best for him to keep the fight at long range right now. That's what Rozier wants, because you know what? Fierro, he's not going to have to find him. Fierro knows only one way, and that's coming forward.
Yeah, Núñez, more of a classy boxer, a poised, patient style. Excellent variety of punches, and the southpaw Fierro, yeah, he likes to march forward.
Fierro is winging those left hands. He wants to land one that's going to end this fight.
Fierro, in his last fight, had to overcome the first knockdown of his career. Won by second-round knockout with the previously undefeated Daniel Bailey, the nephew of former two-division titleist Randall Bailey. Coming up on the final minute of this first round, Núñez tagged Fierro, backs him up. Fierro sticking with the 1-2 from the southpaw stance. Some good defense, some sharp upper body movement defensively, and Raul, it's Fierro attacking the body with the left hand, the straight left down the middle.
Yes, I see that Fierro so far in this first round is giving Núñez a buffet of left hands. Straight left hands, overhand left hands to the body, so Núñez better get away from that left hand. He's got to move away from it, not stand in front of Fierro like he is right now.
And the teenager Fierro showing some good defense, Al, despite the fact that he is hell-bent on bringing the hellfire.
He said he's working on it. They were convinced in Núñez's corner that the defense of Fierro would be his Achilles heel. We'll see, but so far you're right, it's better.
Three-punch combination by Fierro, punctuated with the right hook. Again avoids Núñez and tags Núñez. And then Núñez tags him with the left hook. Some wild punches. As expected and as advertised, plenty of action.
All righty then, we're off to a flying start as we thought we would be. And we'll see in that first round, left hands, the jab, and then the straight left from Fierro. That jab pushed him back. And as we look at the keys, for Núñez, how appropriate. What did I say? Jab well early. Well, he did that, and a power jab. The counter right hand, he's got to use that as Fierro's coming in. Needs to take him deep because Fierro's only been past 2 rounds once. As for Fierro, no early mistakes. Can't keep his chin up and get hit with a big shot. Combination punching. We haven't seen that yet from him, but he's a good combination puncher. And show his power. He might not get all the way to the end of this fight. He hasn't been there, but he can win by a knockout.
The bell in round 2. Mexican-born Fierro throwing shade at the Dominican Republic-born Núñez, saying the Dominican Republic known for baseball, not boxing.
Yeah, I thought Núñez handled that well at the press conference. He said, well, I'm proud that we have good baseball players.
Man, it may be the biggest pipeline, over 400 players from the Dominican Republic. Pedro Martinez, Juan Marichal, Big Papi. I mean, there's definitely a lot of great baseball players and some great boxers from the Dominican Republic. But here in the second round, Fierro continues to put the pedal to the metal. And it looks like he thought he may have been punched in the back of the head in a fierce exchange. And Fierro off balance. He keeps pawing at the back of his head, guys.
He's got a cut, I think.
Yep, there's blood now.
You know, this is the third lefty that Núñez has faced.
Hold him.
Trying to deal with it. There's a cut
Yeah,
on the
from
left.
where it's located.
Time. Right here. Accidental headbutt. Cut over the eye. Accidental headbutt. Good. Time. Box.
Referee indicates that it was the result of an accidental headbutt, and again needs to go end 4 rounds for it to become official.
And that usually happens when you fight. When you got a left-handed fighting a right-handed. You know, Fierro's out of the southpaw position. You see it in his trunks. Zurdo means lefty.
And Núñez now beginning to buy into Fierro's strategy. The boxer trying to sit down on his punches and wing some of these shots, which could very well behoove Fierro's game plan.
Yeah, I think Núñez is best for him to stay from the outside, keep picking him apart, keep him at the end of his shots. 3-4 punch combinations.
Fierro that's in range and landing those shots.
Núñez is a trainer. Andre Rozier told him, look, you're not going to have to look for this guy. And on top of talking about El Zurdo, Fierro, on top of that, when El Zurdo swings, he opens up a lot, so he's there to be countered by Núñez like he just did right now.
Yes. Fierro.
You know, Fierro's not known as a right hook artist. The left hand he's known, but he's shown a very good right hook in this fight.
Counter right left by Núñez.
We knew this was going to be a really interesting fight, and it's been that.
Núñez looking to reset, utilize that pull counter on Fierro.
Núñez keeps lunging, making the mistake. He lunges every time. There he goes. Every time he lunges with a left hand, watch that overhand right by Núñez.
And Fierro continues to make the investment to the body, going to the body with the left hand. Under 20 seconds left in the second round. And again, these two Rams butt heads.
Let me see, it's on the side of the head. The cut's on the side of the head. Keep feinting when you start going in. And be a little more concentrated, okay? That's nothing, that cut is nothing, okay? But you gotta concentrate a little more, okay? And a little more stand. Be standing up a little more.
Well, the moment that defined a little bit of that round was when they did clash heads, and here it is. It creates the cut over the eye of Núñez and that cut on the neck.
And you know what, Al? That has a lot to do with Fierro, you know, lunging in. He lunges in with his left hand. He's got to keep his body more in the center or back leg. I think it was an accidental headbutt, but I think Fierro was the one at fault for causing that.
Stay back.
Núñez, just 22 years of age, turned pro 6 weeks before his 20th birthday, started boxing at the age of 8, had a reported 90 amateur bouts.
Yeah, how about that? He finished pro at 16, still squeezed in 90 amateur bouts.
And for Fierro, who is, well, again, turning 19 next month, he started when he was 10 years old, had a reported 94 amateur fights, and idolized Manny Pacquiao, and just put together that right hook, left hand down the middle, a la Pac-Man. Oh, and Núñez trying to keep the jab pumping.
Now, a reminder, and we mentioned it several times, Fierro has not gone past the second round but one time. And so he's in territory where he hasn't been lately, especially. Well, he had an 8-round decision win, but in general, he's not here in this third round much.
Watch your feet, fellas.
And of course,
Watch
with
your
the
feet.
orthodox southpaw, you have to look for the clashing of heads. Nice pull, countered right hand by Núñez. And also got to watch about the feet getting tangled up.
Yeah, they're fighting over foot precision in there. You see lead foot of a zurdo needs to be on the outside, and then of course Núñez wants to have his lead foot on the outside too. But I think it's Núñez the one that's winning that foot positioning, and he's more calm. He's not swinging wild, and his punches are a lot more shorter and precise, and I think he's landing the better shots, guys.
Everything other than the jab is what we call a power punch, and according to this, very, very close in terms of the number landed. More thrown by Fierro. Not surprising. Núñez is known to jab more than him.
Núñez trying to do just that. Unable to keep Fierro along the ropes. Fierro feinting. Goes to the body with the right jab.
Núñez,
Under a minute left here in round 3.
Núñez sparred with Richard Comey, former lightweight champion, one of Andre Rozier's fighters, and they thought that was very beneficial to him.
And Fierro's output. Going down, oh, nice right to the body by Núñez.
Yeah, that was a beautiful counter right hook to the body, like you said, Mauro. And he was able to catch him with that because you saw Fierro keeps lunging with that left hand. He's not correcting that. Every time he lunges, he's going to get caught by Núñez. He's faster and more explosive with his shots.
There's Fierro looking for that check hook. Núñez using body movement, high guard, the quick jab from Fierro, but Fierro's definitely slowed down in terms of offensive output as we come to the end of round 3, scheduled for 10 at 126 pounds.
Tranquilo. Okay, listen. Take a deep breath, Papa. Relax. Okay? You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard. Just relax and let it come. Use your jab. Jabeando, jabeando. Gancho. Jabeando, gancho. Then turn.
And this is what I'm talking about. Look how composed Núñez is. Nice frame defense. Nice counter right hand. Pinpoint, very accurate. Then later on in the round, you saw him. You see Núñez. Fierro missed with the big left hand and counter left by.
Seconds out.
Yeah, Núñez had that right counter right hook to the body and the left hand, so
very sharp. Yeah, sharp and compact with his combinations.
As we begin the 4th round, and Fierro again came out in fuego as we expected, but the output has slowed down a bit, Al, as this fight now begins round 4.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning, this is not to denigrate Fierro as a fighter, but 9 of the people that he's beaten had losing records, and in fights 11, 12, and 10, 11, and 12, they'd come in off a knockout, the people he beat. So he's in against the best fighter he's fought, and, you know, he's seeing that Núñez isn't falling down from the power punches he's throwing.
There's another counter left hook upstairs by Núñez, starting to pick up the timing of Fierro.
Yeah, Núñez really finding that range now with his jab. He's dissecting him with the jab. You saw how he jab to the body, jab to the head, and then, you know, he makes him miss when he throws that left hand.
And you're right, Raul, that Fierro lunges, puts himself off balance.
And he runs into Núñez's shots.
There's a nice count overhand left.
Total punches, and, you know, very, very close at this juncture, but Fierro is starting to slow down his output a little bit. We expected him to throw more punches, and he has generally.
The midpoint of the 4th frame.
And I believe that the more the rounds go, Fierro's going to get frustrated with Núñez's style, because he's not doing anything to adjust. Look, 1-2, he's not going to catch him with a 1-2. Fierro needs to jab more, double, triple jab to get close, then try to land the left hand, and don't lunge with it either.
There's a counter combination by Núñez. The left hook landed upstairs. Coming up on the final minute of the 4th. The boxing of Núñez, the pressure of Fierro. The sweet science beginning to build momentum for Núñez.
For Núñez, you're right. You're right. Skills pay the bills, and he's got the skills right now.
There's a try at the counter right hand, and that one did land for Núñez. He wants that punch battle.
Oh, and that right uppercut staggered Fierro backwards. Under 30 seconds left in the fourth. Fierro has been down once again in his previous fight.
And remember, that was a body shot by Bailey, and that what just pushed him back now, a body shot by Núñez.
So Fierro has had to walk through fire early in his career and facing adversity here against the 22-year-old Luis Núñez, both undefeated. And speaking of a statement made on the scale, anyway, looking to make one against David Lemieux again. Two fan-friendly firefighters, or fighters who are bringing the fire, the fireworks. For sure, firefighters. Definitely promises to be hotter than Arizona asphalt, and these two are definitely turning up the heat as well to kick things off here as we are at round number 5, scheduled for 10 at 126 pounds, as the boxer Luis Núñez backing up the pressure fighter Fierro in the corner.
And I was about to say, that's not how Fierro wants this fight to happen. He needs to be coming forward to be effective.
And the counter attack of Núñez paying dividends as well throughout this fight already.
Yeah, Fierro's the type of guy that, you know, once you got him going backwards, he's done, because he only knows one way, that's coming forward.
Stiff lead right hand by Núñez that caught Fierro flush. 12 of Núñez 16 wins have come by way of KO or technical knockout. And for Fierro, 12 of his 13 wins have come inside the distance. But again, both facing what is on paper the toughest test of their respective careers, and an opportunity here tonight. As we mentioned, Raul, the biggest stage of brightest lights in boxing, they want to deliver. And there, Fierro delivers a nice combination upstairs.
Yeah, that was a nice 1-2 by Fierro, but he's got to watch. He's got to be fast and explosive.
And he is just that. Now he's fast, but there's a counterattack from Núñez.
I need to see more speed on Fierro's 1-2. Keep watching Núñez's counter right hand.
Oh, there's a counter right left hook upstairs by Núñez. And there's a right by Fierro. And the firefight breaks out here in the 5th.
And the difference is Fierro's landing the right hook. That's made the difference in this round for him to give him better effectiveness.
Both fighters showing incredible chins up until now.
Well, Núñez has never been down in 16 previous fights, and we talked about Fierro overcoming the first knockdown of his career in his last fight, a come-from-behind victory. And here continues to launch that left hand down the middle.
Up on that.
Footwork so important, and especially when you're looking at this type of stylistic matchup and matchup of stances. Left uppercut, right hook by Fierro. There's a lead left hand that lands for Fierro. Oh, wow! Lead left right hook by Fierro.
I don't want you slugging.
No quiere que te pongas a bajarte, dice. Él quiere que boxees.
I want you to box.
Él quiere que boxees porque es muy inteligente tú para que andes así.
Don't give him a chance to win a round.
No de que gane él nada de rounds. Él no puede estar ganando estos rounds.
Well,
Take a
big
deep
bounce
breath.
back round for Jonathan Fierro. Early in the round, now as he gets hit with the body shot, but then he counters with the left hand as Núñez left himself open. Then later on in the round, it was Fierro initiating the action with the jab and the straight right hand, and you're going to see a right hook here. That is the difference.
I'll tell you what, just the way Fierro threw that left hand out of a very awkward position, but it landed, and he was able to land that counter right hook.
So again, Fierro turning 19 next month. Núñez 22. Núñez with plenty of more professional rounds of experience coming into this fight, but both learning more about each other and themselves second by second.
You know, Fierro told us something at the fighter meetings that I don't think we all believed because he hasn't fought long in fights. He said, I'm going to box him for 5 rounds, and after round 5, I'm going to go after him. He did in round 5 go after him.
All right, we're at the halfway point of this scheduled 10-round fight between undefeated featherweights. Let's bring in our unofficial scorer, the Hall of Famer, Steve Farhood.
Oh, we have a fight here, baby. I thought it was going to be one-sided after rounds 2, 3, and 4 went to Núñez. And raise your hand if you saw Fierro's rally coming in the 5th. I don't think anybody's raising their hands.
No.
So it's 3-2, 48-47 on points for Núñez. And the second half's going to decide this fight.
You know, Andre Rozier, we heard him say box to Núñez. He wants Núñez to box. He's been working with him for several months. They wanted the jab and the boxing ability to be the difference in this fight, so he wants to see that from him.
And Núñez dig to the body with that check left hook, and he's trying to establish the jab and utilize the boxing skill, but the pressure of Fierro, and he just launched that right hand again that momentarily stopped Fierro, but not for long. Fierro keeps coming forward, but definitely got shook momentarily by the right hand of Núñez.
I really believe Núñez is trying to land that counter right hand. He's trying to time it. He's trying to time it when Fierro throws that lazy 1-2. Watch that right hand come over the top. But he's got to be smart. He's got to set it up. He's got to jab. He's got to keep circling around him. Do not stand in front of Fierro because that's when it gets tough for Núñez.
You know, Floyd Mayweather, a Mensa-level fighter IQ, utilized that pull counter right a lot. We've seen it from Núñez at times here in this fight, but Fierro now along the ropes, utilizing some lateral movement. Núñez walking him down, leads with the right hand before they clinch.
Let him out.
And if you watch, you know, look at Fierro, look at the left-handed guy.
Counter.
He keeps rocking into Núñez's right hand. He's moving to his left, right into Núñez's right hand, power hand. He's there for that.
And Núñez digging to the body. Fierro fires the left cross. We are through 6 rounds here at Gila River Arena, Glendale, California. All right, Jim Lemieux, former 160-pound belt holder, now 3-0 with 2 KOs against mid-level opposition at 168. He's about to face one of the best later tonight in our main event. Meanwhile, round 7 of this featherweight firefight between Luis the Twist Núñez, 22 years of age, who just countered with a beautiful right-left to the face of Fierro, who is turning 19 in June. He is getting his birthday bumps early from Núñez.
And you know, if there's one thing Núñez might want to try to go back to, too, it's the body work. He's, I think, had Fierro a little bit hurt early in the fight, and as we've pointed out, the previous knockdown by Bailey of Fierro was a body shot.
I feel like Núñez needs to start sitting down more on his shots. Do more damage.
Now, for Jonathan Fierro, I think the trick is to get back to where he was in round 5, use the jab to work his way in, feint a little bit, and then throw those power punches.
Double jab by Fierro, but Núñez out of range.
You heard me about the jab.
And there's again the combination, but throws himself off balance.
That right hook from Núñez stings as much as a Randy Rainbow video. Yes, I made a Randy Rainbow reference in a boxing match.
Wow, and there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow here for these two, should they prevail in impressive fashion tonight. Well done, Mr. Bernstein.
I'm trying to work off the moral Ronaldo analogy.
Oh, my lawyers will be in touch. Left hand, Fierro, and Núñez standing his ground, trying to sit down on his punches. And again, Fierro making the investment to the body, but just throwing a wild left and very lucky not to get countered effectively by Núñez as Núñez goes to the body with a right hand.
Yeah, that was a wicked, wild overhand left by Núñez.
Nothing but air.
For
Fierro.
Fierro, yes.
He put the air in Fierro with that wild shot.
He felt the air, right?
Núñez has been much more controlled and controlled the pace of this fight better in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah. Oh, sharp jab by Fierro, but gets corralled in the corner by Núñez.
And that's when Núñez tried to go to the body with the left hook. He wants to do that when he gets him.
Counter, left uppercut, right hand, but again, the right from Núñez, the more eye-catching shot. As we head to round number 8.
You want to do everything with your right hand. Don't worry about that little cut you have there. Let's start working with the left. Come on, why don't you get him with the left? You're not doing it. Throw the left. Let's go. Come on.
Looking back, here's Fierro getting in the right, left hand, but it was the right counter that Raul has been talking about from Núñez that was very, very effective there.
Yeah, and that's the way to beat a left-hander. Núñez is throwing straight right hands and left hooks.
Yeah, the left hook, exactly.
Yes.
Everyone always talks about the right hand being the public enemy #1 of the southpaw, but that left hook is...
He's doing the right thing, Mauro, but he's staying a little bit too much in front of him. Just keep pivoting around him like his coach, Andre Rozier, wants him to do,
it's all
and he'll
about
be more
that
successful.
Footwork. As we begin round number 8, double jab lands for Núñez. Fierro goes to the body with his jab.
Now Núñez, it's important to note here as we head into round 10 or round 8, has been 10 rounds twice and won 10-round decisions, and in his last fight won by TKO in the 10th round, and that was a rough.
Another headbutt, yeah, another catch of heads.
So Fierro's in territory he's not used to, but Núñez is used to this territory.
And Núñez continues to attack the body. Fierro still, as of today, 18 years old. Núñez, 22. Undefeated. I mean, they are both testing themselves early in their respective careers.
And good for them. Núñez, as Raul saw in the Showbox series, facing some tough opposition, and then jumping in here against a big puncher in Fierro.
But the counterattack of Núñez proving to be effective, even though that left hook bounced off the right shoulder of Fierro. Steve Farhood, our unofficial scorer, has Núñez up by 3 points. And there's a counter right again from Núñez as Fierro looks to land.
Willie Arroyo, the trainer of Fierro, was talking about the left hand and maybe saying don't use the right so much. But I'll tell you what, I think Fierro's going to make a big punch in this fight. It might be the right hook. And you look at the power punches, everything other than the jab, and you see now, early on when we looked at it, it was almost even. Now Núñez in the last 3 or 4 rounds has really pushed ahead in that department.
And the pace, though, slowing down in terms of total punches here in round 8.
Yeah, neither man has hit 30 punches yet.
I'll tell you what, it looks like Fierro is gasping for air. He's got his mouth open now.
Oh, and he's throwing with bad intentions and throwing technique out the window in terms of his attack. Still very much learning and getting countered again by Núñez. 45 seconds left in round 8. Referee Zeno warning Fierro. Even though, again, orthodox southpaw, you're going to get those accidental clashes of heads. And now Fierro looking to establish the jab. Meanwhile, Núñez continues to bounce punches off the shoulder of Fierro. Maybe in order to try to slow down the jab, even though it's not technically a scoring blow. There's a counter left by Fierro.
Well, a recurring theme in this fight has been the clash of heads. And there again, they do it. It happened actually twice in that round. That was early in the round, then later on in the round.
I'll tell you what, I'm surprised that none of them have been cut on the eyebrow. You know, I mean, they're really knocking heads together, but I guess they put their head down. They hit the top of their head, which is better for them.
Doing good. You picked it back up. Estás trabajando bien, pero listen to me. Escucha esto. Don't fall into his game plan.
No te caigas en su trampa de él, ¿ok?
Box. All he has is a lucky shot. That's all he has.
Okay? Boxea. Permítela.
Okay. Let's go.
We talked about it earlier. Andre Rozier echoing those sentiments. Don't fall into Fierro's game plan box as Luisa twists Núñez and Jonathan Fierro get set
You watch
to
the feet, you watch your head. No more.
renew hostilities as they are warned by the referee as we begin round number 9. And Raul, talk about an adjustment that you would like to see Fierro try to make in order to solve the counterattack of Nunez.
Well, Fierro needs to go for broke, but he can't be coming in like that, Mauro. Look what happened. He needs a lot of feints, a lot of head movement, a lot of jabs to get in and work the body up. That's the only way he's going to win this fight, because right now you see Núñez, he's in his zone. He's very focused. He keeps boxing him. That's what they want in his corner, and he's doing a great job right now.
Arroyo gave him good advice some rounds ago, saying to do just that feint and jab his way in. Has not been able to do that effectively.
Well, Fierro attacking the body, but again, Núñez with a counter to the belt line. Fierro thought it was a little lower.
You know, way back in the Keys days, and when we did the Keys, the counter right hand was one of the things there, and that has been very effective for Núñez. But Fierro landing that nice left of his own.
Step back. Step back.
And again, Núñez used to this territory, 2-0 in 10-round fights, plus in a third fight he won by KO in the 10th round. Fierro's only been 8 rounds. He's never seen this 9th round.
There's another right hand to the body by Núñez, coming up on the final minute of the penultimate round of our opening contest here. Final minute of the 9th. Núñez backing up, resetting, boxing off his back foot, trying to keep Fierro at bay with the jab, misses with the right. And Fierro darts in to stab the body with his straight left hand.
Fierro keeps lunging in with his left hand and with his head.
And he has to be careful because of what you guys have both mentioned ad nauseum, the effective counter right hand of Luis Núñez. Under 30 left in the 9th round. Double jab from Fierro, but doesn't follow up with the left. Both of them have thrown a total of 34 punches in this round. And as of right now, Núñez credited with landing 7, Fierro with 5. So whatever's left in their respective tanks, they're going to try to let it all go in the 10th. Well, learning on the job is Jonathan Fierro.
Go for it now. Come on, he's leaving himself open. Take care of it. Take advantage of it. Let's go. The left. You got to let it go. Come on, last round. What do you want? You got to let it go. You got to let it go now. Now or never now. You're not doing anything unless you throw that left.
Your left hand. Stay low.
Mantente bajito, ¿ok?
And keep your left hand up.
Mantén tu izquierda arriba,
Okay?
No andes bajando la guardia para nada.
Smart round. Smart round. Let's go. Come on.
10th and final round, a sense of urgency in the Jonathan Fierro corner. Núñez trainer Andre Rozier wants him to continue to box.
You know, it's fascinating. Willie Arroyo wants his fighter, Fierro, to throw the left more. Andre Rozier is more worried about the right hook that we talked about earlier because he told him to keep Núñez to keep his left hand up. So that's fascinating.
Well, we've seen Fierro resort to pot shotting, so I definitely agree with Arroyo's advice, especially now here, Raul, in the final 2.5 minutes of the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that Núñez needs to keep the fight at mid-long range in this last round. He didn't take any risks and get caught by a lucky punch by Fierro, because I think he's ahead. He's well ahead.
We think that unofficially.
We think that unofficially, yes, sir.
As does,
yes, sir. You're
Steve
right. You're
Farhood.
absolutely
He
right.
has Núñez unofficially ahead by 5 points.
There we go.
But yeah, it seems like Núñez has
feet.
controlled
Watch
this
your
fight.
feet.
Yeah, but Fierro's thrown more.
Yeah.
But Núñez has been more accurate, and he is accurate here. But there's another counter upstairs by Fierro.
You know, Fierro can take a shot. We've seen, you saw Núñez stop Arrieta in his last fight. He's got some pop. Fierro's taking those punches.
Yeah, he's shown a very durable chin.
Lunging again, though, forward with that left to the body.
I tell you what, he's still young. He's got a lot to learn, but he's got to correct that. I think that lunging with the left hand, if he was more in the center or back leg and he threw that leg, yes.
And now he has valuable piece of tape to do just that.
Yes, and he would add more leverage, more power. You know, if he got the right leverage, more power to his left hand, he would be more successful.
Yeah, his 5-fight KO streak hangs in the balance. 1:11 left in the final round.
Watch behind the head. Box.
Under a minute left here in the 10th. It's the boxing of undefeated Luis Núñez, the pressure of Jonathan Fierro, the counterattack of Núñez, and now they are just throwing caution to the wind, going for broke, much to the delight of the throng here at Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona. And just like that, the referee calls time.
Nothing behind the head. Watch behind the head.
Momentum muted.
Hey, people want to see mano a mano.
Amen. Counter right to the body by Núñez. What will the judges end up ruling in this battle between undefeated featherweights?
It ain't over.
Well, plenty of experience achieved by this youngster, Jonathan Fierro, going 10 rounds against a man who appreciates the sweet science in Luis Núñez.
First time Fierro has been 10, and he was able to get there, and however this works out, it would be a valuable experience for him. And the first fight, and Willie Arroyo, the man who worked with him, gave him some good pieces of advice. He wasn't always able to incorporate them into what he did, unfortunately, tonight. Let's go inside the ropes and take a look at this fight in microcosm, and it started out with both men landing big shots. That was very early in the fight, and the right hand was a key weapon for Núñez, but Fierro kept coming forward. The body work, though, by Núñez was excellent, and a straight left when Fierro could get it in was appropriate. As this fight wore on, we see more and more of Núñez landing those counter right hands like that one, and finally Fierro was able to get into that last round in any case to make it go the distance. And we look at the numbers, because Fierro had some comebacks toward the end of that, especially in that last round, the number shrunk a little bit, probably in terms of what Showstat said was landed, but it's where those punches are placed in terms of the round that makes a difference.
Barring a draw, somebody so has got to go while we await for the official verdict. Here's
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. All three judges scored about 96 to 94. All the three in favor of the winner by unanimous decision. And he is still undefeated. Luis the Twist Núñez.
Luis the Twist Núñez representing the Dominican Republic. Obviously known more than for just baseball. This boxer on the upswing and remains unbeaten. He's now 17-0, hanging the first L on the record of the youngster Jonathan Fierro, who, again, Al, can I say it again, turns 19 next month.
It's amazing.
And Núñez just 22.
Yeah, very young, and both these young men still developing. Clearly, Núñez farther along in the ladder.
I agree. Fierro has nothing to be ashamed of. I'm sure we're going to see him back again. And for Núñez, I mean, we saw him twice on Showbox. He developed there on Showbox, and he showed that he's getting better, and we're going to see more of Núñez, too, in the future.